Today on Gamer's Couch.
Inkognito.
Hi guys, what are you doing here? Who are you? What's your name? What's your stature?
Whatever, Nito.
Nito? Oh,
Totally Nito.
whatever you're saying. Welcome to the Gamer's Couch, where we talk about board games every Sunday. I'm Sarah, the artist behind Pinselgeschichten, and this is my sweet and lovely husband, Daniel, whom I have to say is the greatest guy ever, because look what he got me. It's like, yeah, so me.
It's truth on a shirt.
Yeah, it has to be told. But I was very happy when I got it yesterday. And it also, well, not only the shirt, but the whole shipment that arrived at our house yesterday was the reason that this person here, and you can see it in my eyes, is totally tired because I watched the Strip Search Blu-ray until 9:45 this morning, and now it's short after 2 p.m. So you know how long I slept. Anyways, if my English is shitty, sorry.
Feel lucky that we're here, or at least that there's more than me here. I could have done this episode with the duck alone, but, well...
He's not very talkative.
I don't know.
He never says anything.
But he could be my partner.
But...
He's small and...
Why? He would be... that stature.
Or that stature.
No, too small.
But this one has the little duck nose, whatever.
Whatever. We're talking about Inkognito today, and we start off by rules and gameplay, followed by likes and dislikes, and we wrap up the video with experiences and funny stories that we had when we played the game. So first part is done by Daniel, because I can't explain. Go.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sip coffee.
Inkognito is not a new game. In fact, I played that when I was little, and this is the reprint that came out. And now I could have prepared this, but probably I didn't. But I guess this is... Tell me when you came out. It is from Piatnik, and it doesn't tell me when it came out, which is unfortunate. I will...
Off to a good start.
I want to say that I first saw this, this looked like it came out last at Essen.
Could be. I could ask the internets while you keep on the talking.
So, but it looks and feels at least very much like the original game, and if you haven't played it, this is... Well, I don't want to say the grandfather, but it is at least a quite old game that introduced the idea of having different hidden roles and finding your partner without telling others who you are, because they might be after you. But let's get started with looking at where are we playing. So Inkognito is like the cover gives away, playing in Venice, I think.
Yep, it does.
It's an old game, that's why
do you need help?
You have to live with me with this table-sized board, because that's why we call them tabletop games, because you can make a table out of the game, out of the top of the game. Welcome to Venice, and
Venice.
Yeah, like venison.
Oh no!
Almost.
But Venice Beach was popping into my head. Totally other side of the globe, but whatever. Go ahead, I still search.
On this map, you will find multiple dots between the houses, which are either colored or numbered or just plain orange dots. More importantly are the lines connecting the dots, like streets and waterways. If you get a feeling of, hey, this looks like Mr. X of Scotland Yard, you're not too far off, although this game works a little bit differently. The interesting part about this is there's 4 people you're playing. Either Lord Fiddlebottom,
2013,
Agent X, Madame Zaza, or Colonel Bubble. Now, two of these always work together, so Agent X and Madame Zaza always are a pair, as well as Lord Fiddlebottom and Colonel Bubble. The thing is, you get handed one of these cards and you know who you are. You don't know who the other players at the table are. And there's a variance for 3 players, 4 players, and even 5 players. But to be honest, this game was originally designed with 4 players, and that's kind of where it's played best at. But regardless, it is fun, even played with 3 people. So the idea is, you know who you are, you don't know who the other guys are. However, you will be moving around town with your little dudes here, and as you can see, they look all a little bit different from each other. One is the bigger one, the tall one, the thin one, and the small one. And each player has 4 of those in his or her color. What you'll do in town is meet up with other agents or other figurines, and then you're allowed to question that agent. You can either ask him about his form, which where he has to reveal some information about what's he looking like, or his identity, where he has to give you a hint as who he is. So each player has a set of these cards, 4 form cards, which correspond to the 4 forms I just showed you. So small, big, tall, thin, whatever. And a set of these 4 identity cards, which are essentially the same as the ones I showed you, but these come in your color, and you use them to indicate to other players who you may be. So if you ask someone for their form, they have to give you 3 cards. 2 of those have to be those form cards, and 1 has to be the identity card. And if they're asking for the identity, you'll get 2 of those and 1 of those. Now the trick is, one of these 3 cards has to be the truth. So at the beginning of the game, you not only get your character card, but you also get one of these 4 gray form cards. So meaning, if you get Colonel Bubble and this guy, that means A, you're Colonel Bubble, and B, your actual figurine is the heavy guy. So if someone asks you, let's say for form, you could give them tall, small, and Colonel Bubble. Colonel Bubble would be right, but the other player doesn't know that. The other way around is someone could ask for the identity, and you could show them the big guy, Madame Zaza, and Agent X to just throw them off. Obviously keeping in mind that 2 of those are always working together, and you kind of want to find out who the other players are, because you have to find your partner in crime to help you solve the case, because otherwise you won't even know what to do. Because the 3rd card you're handed at the beginning next to your identity and form is your kind of task card or a secret contract card, which literally just says A, B, C, D. But this card determines with the other piece that your partner has what your actual objective in the game is. So each player has a little screen where you can hide it behind, and this screen comes with a table illustrating what you'll have to do. So let's say you are Colonel Bubble and have the D card. That means we can already identify it can only be this one, this one, this one, because these are the only ones that list a D for Colonel Bubble. Now, depending on if your partner has the A, B, or C card, you will then probably not be able to read this, but this says what you have to do. And those tasks usually range from bring Agent X to this spot, or meet up with the ambassador, who we'll be talking about soonish. So this kind of determines what you have to do and how you can do it. As I said, sometimes it means you have to bring another figurine to someone, and that brings us kind of to the how do you move around. Now, this game does not come with dice, but with this iconic little guy, who is shaky. So, and he will always display 3 little pearls, colored pearls, and those colors determine what you're allowed to do on your turn. Very simple, corresponding with the colors on the map I've shown you. So orange...
Warn me! For God's sakes!
So if you get an orange one, you're allowed to move along the streets. If you get the blue one, you're allowed to walk around the waterways. And mind you, these 2, orange and blue, allow you to move one of your 4 figurines. It doesn't matter which one, and you can move the same multiple times. So this result would allow me to move 1 figurine on a waterway, on a landway, and white is the wild card, so I can either do it on water or land and move them around. So this essentially means I can move someone 3 spaces on the map, or 3 guys 1 space. I might want to do that to try to raise my chances of interrogating some other player. So as I said, you move around your guys and you land on a spot with another player, and then you ask them a question. If you don't, or if you're not able to land on a space with any other player, you'll get a 4th wildcard movement action just to compensate for not being able to ask a question this turn. Now,
can you please warn me next time when you say?
What? I don't really know what you... I can't understand what you're saying. Let me... Where's the...
You had it.
No,
No, I mean at the beginning, before you took for the orange.
I'm looking for the purple one.
Oh, I thought you'd say...
We may have to cut this out later on, but...
Depending on how long the video is. Might be a blooper. There's the lucky.
Yeah, I can... this might take longer.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's hiding up there.
Oh! You know, it's really loud. For God's sake.
This is, you know, dice are quite easy to show to someone, and this must make a great internet video for someone violently shaking this little ghost guy.
You might go viral with your shaking performance.
There it is. Crap. Come on. No. Yes. So the other 2 colors...
I hope you have the black one with you, right?
I do. So the other 2 colors that you're able to...
Don't shake again.
To shake out of this are purple and black. Purple allows you to move another player's figure.
I'm so sorry. This is ridiculous.
We also have the red pearl, which is like Sarah's full head. And the black one, last but not least...
Don't mock me because of my sunburn.
Allows you to move the ambassador, which is another special figurine on the board. Now, instead of asking a player a question, you can meet up with the ambassador to ask him a question. And because the ambassador is so well connected, you can kind of direct a question at any player by asking him. The difference there is that player has to return to you 2 cards, and obviously enhancing your chances of finding out who the other player is by being at a 50-50 chance. There's another little twist to keep you from guessing forever, because someone is always giving you the same cards, because that is actually not allowed. So while you see cards from other players, very much like Clue, you will take notes at which card combination was shown to you by which player. And if they showed you that card combination already in some instance, and even if it's just 2 cards and you already saw those 2 cards in a 3-card combination, you can call them out, and now they have to remove one of the cards that is not the truth. So you will over time find out definitely who they are. You might also be able to deduce a lot. So let's say you find out that another player at the table is Agent X, and just found out that the third player is Madame Zaza. Now, obviously, you know, if you're Colonel Bubble, you know who's your partner player, Lord Fiddlebottom, so you have to meet up with him and show him your little what we have to do card. Or better, you have to get him to interrogate you so that you can show him that this card. And to give him a solid hint that you're actually playing together. If you're really, really a bad person, you can also do that to another player that you're not playing with to throw them off. So you could move up to them and very early on not show them your grey I am this or that person to remove all doubt, but just to go in and say, hey, by the way, D, because I know we're working together, trust me. And that might throw off the other team if you're doing this correctly. That is the entire game. So you move around the board, asking questions, taking notes, trying to deduce who's who, and then figuring out what you'll have to do. Or if you're clever, you can also deduce what the other players have to do and try to keep them from doing that. As you've seen, the Phantom also allows you to move some of the other players, and some of the objectives say something like, you have to move this or that player to that space, and that is only possible by interrogating someone, because after you interrogated a figurine, you are allowed to place it on any other space on the board that is not a special place, like a numbered place, for example. But that also means if you have to move someone somewhere, you have to find out what's the true form of that player, who is actually the player that I have to move there, and then also get lucky enough to, you've seen my efforts trying to get the purple ball out of the Phantom. There, I said it. It's the Phantom Menace. So that's how you play Inkognito. You're trying not to be found out, and that's that. Now, if you're playing this game with 3 players, obviously you won't. So one of those players won't have a partner, but you don't know that, and they don't know that. So it's a secret, which is the role that's missing from the game, and you may see that there's some missions with a little guy that's running away. If you're the player who's playing alone, and you figure out that the other 2 players are not actually your partners, then you have to escape to somewhere mission from that thing, and the others might have to prevent you from that, or have to do whatever their mission is saying. Which is an interesting twist. And the 5-player version works exactly as the 4-player version, but with the difference that the 5th player is actually playing the ambassador, and his job is to figure out who each other player is and demask them by proclaiming, I will say you are this guy and you're this guy, and if he's right, he will win the game at the end after everything else has resolved. But he gets a little advantage over the others, because whenever you use the ambassador to ask another player, he's allowed to see those cards, because he's the ambassador. That's how the game works. And that's how the game works. So there you have it, Inkognito.
Wonderful. Aside from the shaking efforts, beautifully done. God.
Yay!
No! I said warn me. You know that I can't stand this sound. And this brings me to the likes and dislikes. Was that a planned segue, or you just being a jerk? Just asking.
I wanted to see if I can make your head match the color of the shirt.
No, that would be the exact
likes
area
and dislikes
between your head and your body. Once I'm done with you, you shake that thing again.
It's a segment.
Oh gosh! Cheers. So likes and dislikes. Let's start with what I liked. So I didn't play the game before when I was a kid or something, so this is an absolutely new game to me, and we got it early this year, right? We bought it? Yeah, so
Just a couple of months ago. I think.
yeah. So I didn't have any experiences with this game. I didn't ever play Clue or Scotland Yard when I was a kid. We recently, like last year, played Clue Dungeons and Dragons. But that's that. I don't have any other experiences with games like that, which makes the mechanics in the game not boring for me. So for probably other players, it's like, oh yeah, that again. Played that as a kid until I couldn't see it anymore and needed something new. Not with me, because I never had that experience. So
But you,
I liked.
I would say you also like deduction games.
Yes,
In general.
and I was about to say I really liked the mechanics of the game, no matter what theme is on there. So I liked that it was very close to the Clue feel for me, and I really like any kind of mystery, crime, deduction kind of thing. So yeah, this is exactly in my spot. Of games that I really like to play over and over again. Now, once unpacking, I was very happy with the way the game looked. It's totally simple. You just have pretty much nicely looking cards with pictures on there. You have a board and you have, of course, the notepad and stuff. But there's not a lot of reading and everybody's just looking down trying to figure out what they do. But it's a very interactive game, and that's a definite advantage in my book. But coming back to the unpacking, I really like the artwork on the board and the cards, and just like the colors are gorgeous, very nicely done. So a big plus on the artwork, the graphic design, and the quality of the paper components. Now, I don't like the figurines here because they don't fit style-wise with the rest of the game. So the rest of the game is very much Renaissance. No, I'm getting to this fucker in a second. No, like with the board, with the cards. They feel Renaissance. They feel vintage. They from the colors, from the design and everything, it's 1500, 1600, 1700 maybe, from the style. And this one is 21st century. There is no way this fits together. It's just not nice to the eye. I would have preferred just some wooden figurines, some wooden meeples in different shapes, just for the look and the feel and the consistency. But I guess it would have been more expensive to produce, I guess. Maybe that's why they decided on these.
I have to strongly disagree. I really like those, and that they have the little masks and
yeah, I like the look. I don't like the
carnival.
I don't
thing.
like that it's plastic. This is like, what the heck? Not feeling
I'm
like everything else in old Venice.
I'm trying very hard to remember, and I think those are the same figurines that came with the original game. So
okay.
Maybe keep in mind that this design is 10, maybe 15 years old.
The first one was published, I just checked, 1997, at least by that company. There might have been, there was, no, the Fantasy Flight was the first one that was posted on Board Game Geek 1997 publishing year.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so anyways, I don't like that the plastic dudes interrupt the feel and the touch and the design of the game. Everything is very, very well put together when it comes to the board and the cards. It's very much in, well, the Renaissance Venice kind of era, and those dudes are not with their design. So I didn't like that about the game. But I mean, there's ways around it, so I don't care.
But you realize that this game is not set in the Renaissance era. because there's an Agent X. It's in the Cold War era thing.
But then why
Because
have
it's-
that artwork then?
Because it's the carnival in Venice. And that's kind of the backstory to the game, because everybody is at the carnival and they're hiding
with the
behind
colors
masks.
and everything, to me it suggests not the 21st century.
Huh.
I gotta say. But anyways, the big sucker is really that goddamn ghost. I don't
Phantom.
know how, yeah. You are horrible. This makes my ears bleed and my head explode. I really have to cover at least the good ear, the one that I hear really well with. Gotta cover that up when this one is shaken.
Shook.
I'm gonna shake you in a second if you interrupt me. No, I don't know a way around it. I was thinking about maybe dice with certain colors on sides, but then you just have one ball of each color in there, so I don't know how you would get the same probability by using other components to have, like, dice does not really work.
Well, in today's world, I would say you can put all these in a bag and then draw.
Yeah, draw them. Yeah, that would be something. Because this really makes me aggressive and not want to play the game, or have earmuffs or something on constantly. Because it really bugs me. And if I have one of those days where I have a headache or am very sensitive to sounds when having a certain kind of migraine, I can't play this as much as I wanted. I can't. Otherwise, I'm gonna kill somebody. It's like, what the heck? Who thought about that?
Well,
that's a parent destroyer thing.
Maybe someone has already. I'd be surprised if someone hasn't made an app or something like that.
Yeah, I would really prefer that. Or just like you said, having balls in a bag, and that sounded dirty, I'm sorry. And then just draft them and all is well. Aside from that, I very much like the game. I like the flow, I like the mechanics, I like the interaction on the game board, on the table. I like that everybody has the poker face but shows who they are in ways that they might not even realize, and we're gonna talk about that in the next section of the video. But yeah, it's a lovely game. It's just the two components that I would like, what the fuck? No, I can't stand it, actually. Whereas the Phantom is way worse than the figurines. I can stand them, but I don't think they're nice.
Well,
anyways, yeah.
Certainly
my 2 cents.
You have.
I have a right to my opinion.
You have the right to be wrong. So, we
play co-op, but I'm winning.
I disagree. I very much like the game. I like the components. The little dudes, and that you actually easily can identify. Well, some people can easily identify which figurine is what. I also like the iconic Phantom, because that is kind of the thing that is the game. Whenever you see a component like that, and you immediately know, yeah, that's Inkognito.
I don't have a reference to that, so maybe that's why I'm not fond of it.
In every
don't shake it.
In every ad or in every magazine where this game showed up, this guy was in there, and I'm pretty sure they included that to appeal to kids, because it looks like this big plastic thing. It looks a little bit gloomy. Yeah, but apart from that, I also like it that this is like the this spy movie Cold War thing with the British guys and the Chinese spy and Agent X, who, according to the manual, even he doesn't really know who he is. And this moving around. In fact, the thing I enjoy most about this game is the interaction, obviously, between the players.
That's lovely.
I don't want to compare it to the Resistance, but tingles a similar nerve for me in terms of you have to find out who the others are and whom you're working with, but you have to find out without showing that you know who you're working with, except for the person you have to address.
Yeah, it's way less aggressive, I think, than Resistance.
It is. Well, there's no player elimination or anything like that, and I've played this game back then, where it literally happened that we played this, and at the end of the game, it came out that the wrong person partnered up with the other wrong person, and so
that's so cool.
And so they lost, which is like
who wins then?
The other team. So
so even if they paired up with they obviously paired up with the wrong one. Maybe so.
One has to declare at the end of the game mission accomplished and reaches out hand to his or her partner or suspected partner.
Yeah,
and then if the other player either agrees and shakes their hand, and then they reveal who they are, and if they're not the correct roles, the player who said I'm done,
that team loses.
Okay. Or if the other player refuses to shake their hand, which is the cooler thing to do that, because then the sheer horror when their face goes, no, I screwed up. Being misdirected as in a very agent-like feel. Yeah.
I guess you did that to your parents a lot.
No, I did.
Was it done to you?
I've never played. I've just played it once with my parents, and that's when we played it.
Oh, I thought, but you said you had played it before, or you played it with friends.
Yes.
Okay, I see.
But maybe children are more easily misdirected than older folks.
Look, there's some chocolate. Let me see who you are.
But that brings us to the experiences thing, because misdirections.
Can we rate first?
No. Let me. Yep, looks good.
Okay.
Out of 3.
So from 1 to awesome on my scale, it's an 8. The playing experience is lovely, just those 2 components suck. No, I'm sorry. I can't put it nicely. But all the rest is gorgeous, and I'm actually angry that these 2 things destroy my... Yeah, why? I want this to be a 10, and...
Yeah, let's put felt into the...
No, I might just rummage through my large buttons or marbles, and we take those instead of the ghost, and it's a 9 already.
No, I like the ghost.
Yeah, you can shake the ghost and give me... Oh, that sounds so bad.
Shake the ghost, give you the marbles or the balls?
No. Yeah, I couldn't even, but no. I'm so sorry, guys.
Quality criticism towards the game.
No. But if you want to keep on playing with the ghost, oh god, no, I got that picture. If you want to use that specific game component there, I want you to buy me some earmuffs that are awesome.
You don't listen to me all the time, so why should I support that notion?
Because I take them off once we're done with the game.
I clearly remembered saying yesterday, maybe you want to go to bed now.
I did sleep. 2.5 hours is enough, isn't it? And do I not look pretty enough for you with those eyes? Anyways.
This is all this animosity
Welcome to our marriage.
This animosity towards the game and the complaining about the noise level
that's
being induced by the Phantom just happens to be related directly to the amount of sleep someone has gotten on the couch. Literally.
Yeah, I didn't want to wake you up.
I could have let the camera roll and have a...
I didn't want to wake you up. That's why I slept on the couch. Because, yeah, it was an hour before your alarm clock went off. So I was just being nice. Anyways, rating is done. Let's go to the experiences. And not of the sleep, but of the game.
Let's talk about misdirection. So one of the big things you have to understand to win the game is that there's one team here, one team there. No cross-team things. Now, if you're like my mom And towards the end of the game, throw out the question like, so how does one work together over, well, across the pages? Like, what are you?
No, Mom, no.
So you're suggesting something like Lord Fiddlebottom working with Agent X? Because that's wrong. That's not how you play the game. And that, made...
Branching out.
Unfortunately, I was very certain that my mom was actually my partner because I was Lord Fiddlebottom and I was quite certain that she's Colonel Bobble. And then she throws out the thing, that sentence, and I was like,
No, Mom. No.
I don't know. Are you now screwing with me? Are you screwing with the other two who clearly already knew? So my dad and Sarah knew at that time because they were working together very, very obviously.
Yeah, well, it was obvious, and it was obvious that you two knew that you were partners.
Yeah, no, not then anymore because then it
No, she was just confused about one thing. What was way more, struggling was I wanted to have the card from your dad that says what task he has so that I could...
But he never gave it to you?
And I met with him 3 times and I stared at him like really intensely saying, what's your identity? And 3 times in a row he gave me the cards and it's like, oh, God damn it, I know who you are. You know that I know who you are. Why are you not... Well, listen, subtext.
Maybe he didn't know who you are, but...
No, he knew, because he had seen my identity.
Did
and
you give him the task thing?
No, I couldn't, because he never asked me again after that. He strayed away from me. I had to chase him over the board and say, what the fuck, Dad? Come on, we're playing together. Subtext.
At some point, we actually need to know how to complete this game.
Yeah, and then I said, I asked... very innocently, but again with the same tone, staring him in the face. So how do you know what the other person's task is? When he said, well, you got to give it to them. I said, oh, like in an identity check. He said, yeah, okay. So I stared at his dad like, what's your identity? Believe it or not, he didn't give me the task. It was like, what the fuck are you doing? 5 rounds in a row. I didn't know how to communicate with him. And he was like, la, like being totally cute, so you can't be angry with him. And he said, yeah, I knew that you wanted to have that. Why didn't you give it to me? And we did win in the end, but only because we were good.
Now here's the kicker, and thanks, Mom, for winning. So it turns out that we actually were a team.
Guess.
Unfortunately, it seems to be very difficult.
Yeah, it is.
To map these shapes to this little pile of miserable secrets.
I did have, in the beginning, I did have trouble with these two. Like, I really had to look closely at the cards to know if it's the tall dude or the thin dude. I was okay with the bigger ones, the more well-rounded people.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the difference between those was what cost us the game, because our job was to move her to a specific spot on the board, and her true character was this little guy here. However, she gleefully moved this guy there, and that's it, and we're done.
Mission accomplished. I was like, no, Mom. Did you screw up?
I don't think so, but yeah, let's go with it. And then like, oh.
And she was confused in the beginning with the partners and everything because she thought she'd gotten a wrong clue, and in the end it was really just getting confused with these two that made her think that maybe somebody else is her partner because she thought she got a wrong clue, which she did not. But I mean, first time that we played it, being quite late after having night shifts on her end, so not.
No excuse. I tried.
It's not an excuse. It's come on.
I tried really hard to get to her little guy to question him and then move him to the space or close to the space where he actually has to go to.
Yeah, playing with parents is so stressful, right? But I find it very funny that we were yelling on the table, like we were sitting, we made the perfect X. So Mom and Daniel were playing like that, and Dad and I were playing like that.
I would
and
call it playing.
We were staring at the parents and like, come on, play! You know me, you get me. You know what you gotta do, right? We just established it again, so be with me, win with me, and they're both on a different kind of way. It's just like fumble. So it was hilarious. We were having a lot of fun, and we definitely gotta play that game again. And I want to be teamed up with you. Please, can you make that happen? I want them to play together because they
win.
No, because they bicker just as much as we do when we play games. So when those two were questioning each other, it was hilarious. I was giggling so hard because they were, of course, throwing in sentences from like real life experiences and just making it really hilarious when they questioned each other. I liked it. So yeah, was a good day. Do you want to wrap up?
Yep.
Bye. That's his way. Mine is a bit more sophisticated.
That's not true.
What?
Mine is more sophisticated than that.
Just because you have the hand the size of, I don't know.
No, it's
the lid of a garbage can.
It's more words than you assume what I would be saying.
More words.
Goodbye.
That's what I said you'd do.
You just said bye.
Oh, goodbye.
Because manners.
Wow. Can I remind you of that later when we play? You being a jerk.
Goodbye.
I wait for later, right? So, thank you everybody for watching along and enduring our silliness. But that's who we are. Deal with it. If you actually find that we are funny and want to share this with people you know, go ahead. We would love that. Also, if you hit that subscribe button.
Future Sarah can cut that out.
I will. No. Don't glare at future me. You distract me every time. Okay, again. If you want to...
No, if you want to fuck, you have to do something different. I'm sorry. So, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and if you don't like them, loop this.
I hate you.
We hate you.
No, I hate you for the shaking.
Oh.
So, take good care until next Sunday when we have hopefully a silly couch again. I'm never gonna sleep enough before we shoot them so that it's actually hilarious. Well, at least for me. So, take good care. Have a good one. If you have any comments, anything, any questions, blah, you know what to do. Comment section below. Take good care. Have a good one. Bye.
Goodbye.